Chapter 51. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The woman was stunned, and seemed a little surprised, don't you know? Fang Qian didn't even tell you about this. Then she sighed, yes, your sister cares about you so much, how could she make you worry? Just a few days ago, it seemed to be a gang fight. There was a violent conflict within the underground force called Liuhe Gang. The former leader of Liuhe Gang, Su Luo, died, and your sister was also affected by the aftermath of the battle. You know, your sister is just an ordinary person. Although she was rescued in time, she only forced her life to last a few days. During that time, she didn't let me contact you because she was afraid that you would worry. She could have extended her life through surgery, but the cost was huge. For you, she gave up treatment just to give you the money she had accumulated over the years. She was really, really stupid. Speaking of the latter, the woman couldn't help sobbing, and tears flowed from the corners of her eyes. Maybe I feel something today, just to see you for the last time. After the woman finished speaking, she covered her mouth and left with her face covered. Fang Rong was already in tears at this time. He knelt in front of the bed and held his sister's cold palm against his face. I'm sorry, it's all my fault, I'm useless, that my kindness is all fake, I'm cold and selfish in my bones. I'm sensitive and cowardly, I'm inferior and conceited. I lack emotions, I'm cynical, I'm thinking about destruction all the time, I'm angry for my incompetence and excuse my inaction. I will only vent my anger on the people who love me the most. Fang Rong beat his head again and again in anger, as if this would alleviate his guilt. After a long time, Fang Rong's eyes were red. Liuhe Gang. I want you to pay with blood. The door of the ward was pushed open, and two people who looked like doctors walked in and said to Fang Rong. Family member, according to the rules, the patient should be sent to the morgue immediately after death to wait for cremation. For humanitarian considerations, we have kept her in the ward waiting for you. This is against the rules. We want to carry her away. I hope you can understand. Fang Rong held Fang Qian's hand tightly, and then wiped away the tears that kept flowing from the corners of his eyes. Well, I understand, thank you very much, let me personally send my sister off. After saying that, he was about to pick her up. You have been taking care of me all my life. Please let me see you off this time. Oh, no, the two doctors were obviously a little flustered, but unfortunately they were too late to stop them. Fang Rong carefully picked up Fang Qian in a princess hug. This hug, Fang Rong obviously felt something was wrong. Light. Very light. My sister is 168 centimeters tall, and although she has been losing weight all year round to maintain her figure, she weighs about 49 kilograms. And now, from the perception of picking her up, it is only less than 20 kilograms. Fang Rong's face turned pale, as if he thought of a terrible guess, and he quickly opened and touched Fang Qian's abdomen. Sure enough, the abdomen was covered with stitched wounds. Touching it with his hands, it was true. The heart, liver, and kidneys had been removed long ago. Now the body was just an empty shell. Thinking of the panic shown by the doctor just now, Fang Rong's eyes were fierce. Gnashing his teeth, he said. What did you do to my sister? The two doctors looked at each other, then grinned. Oh my, we've been discovered. It seems that we have to share some money to shut him up. Little brother, your sister can't be resurrected. Why not make the best use of it to save more people? Isn't it wonderful? A tall doctor wearing gold-rimmed glasses held up his glasses with his hand, secretly angry. Damn it, I wanted to drag her to the morgue and peel off her cornea. How about this, little brother, this is a check for 500,000 baileys. Just take it as a thank you for your sister's great love for the world. How about it, but you have to make a receipt, otherwise it will be bad if you take the money and then regret it, right? The two doctors persuaded him. It's impossible to take our money, I don't believe you won't be tempted by this money. As long as you sign the agreement, I will sue you for extortion. Hee, the money will be back then, ha ha ha, you little idiot. You are really beasts, it turns out that life is just a bargaining chip in your eyes. It turns out that the closest relatives in the eyes of others are just objects in your eyes, right? Fang Rong carefully placed his sister's body on the bed, gently arranged her clothes, and kept repeating beast, beast, beast. The two doctors were stunned. Is this man stupid? Hey, kid, don't be stunned, sign the agreement quickly, and the money will be yours. One person walked up and stretched out his hand to grab Fang Rong's hand. Before he could make any move, a pair of hands full of sharp claws had pierced his heart, and the blood flowed strangely with the sharp claws flowed into Fang Rong's body. The man stared blankly at the arm on his chest, then at Fang Rong, with a face as ferocious as a demon. Sharp teeth extended from the corners of his mouth, and dark flesh wings grew from his back to wrap his whole body. His ears were pointed and long. A pair of eyes shed tears of blood. Just like the legendary vampire. Animal system, fantasy beast species, sucking, vampire form. This man was still explaining this before he died. After a while, the man was sucked dry of blood, and the whole person was like being fast-forwarded in life, quickly turning from a young man to a middle-aged man, and then to a gray-haired old man, and finally being sucked dry alive. Heaven and earth are unkind, and treat all things as straw dogs. This dirty world needs to be cleaned. The other doctor had already collapsed on the ground with his pants wet, and Fang Rong approached him with an expressionless demon-like face. Don't kill me. I'm just an employee too. It's Sacred Heart Hospital. It's all that Dean Go from Sacred Heart Hospital. He forced us. He cooperated with the underground dark forces to resell organs and sell infants. It's all his orders, big brother, spare my life. Seeing Fang Rong unmoved, the man kowtowed repeatedly. Yes, and your sister's organs have been reserved by the underground human trafficking organization Black Heart Society. It seems that your sister has been targeted because of her close relationship with the former leader of the Liuhe gang. Black Heart Society vowed to retaliate and suppress the Liuhe gang, and all those who have a relationship with the Liuhe gang will be targeted. Fang Rong pinched the man's neck, his sharp claws cut through the flesh, and was about to approach the man's carotid artery. Keep talking. I'll tell you. The man gasped for air, his face pale, and he dared not move, fearing that Fang Rong might accidentally cut his carotid artery. And your sister, in fact, may not die. Your sister is indeed seriously injured, but as long as she is treated well, she can actually save her life. It's the Dean. That Dean Go Dongshi hinted that we were perfunctory in treatment, so she must have died early in order to drain your sister's savings. He deliberately delayed the treatment. Big brother, I've said it, can you spare me? Spare you? Of course, sparing you is the matter of the King of Hell. I'm only responsible for sending you to see him. After saying that, Fang Rong suddenly strangled his neck without waiting for the man to call, and large amounts of blood were absorbed into his body, constantly nourishing Fang Rong's body. Soon, the man was sucked dry, and with a light pinch, he turned into ashes. He's right, only the strong are worthy of dominating the rules. I want to establish my own rules. Sacred Heart Hospital, Liuhe gang, Black Heart Society. You think you are superior. You play tricks on everyone. Okay. I want to let you know what it means. When a common man gets angry, blood will splatter 10 steps away. Chapter 52. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ah, sneeze. Jiang Chen rubbed his nose. What's going on? Can a strong man like me catch a cold? He touched his 8-pack abs and strong biceps. It must be because he stayed up too late. Staying up late will lead to sudden death. Exercising will lead to a strong body. Staying up late to exercise will lead to a strong corpse. He rubbed his shoulders, clicked on Pink Sixie casually, and selected the most popular massager on the list, clicked the contact customer service button and entered text. Can this massager be shipped tomorrow? I'm in a hurry. Dear, no. When can it be shipped? Dear, it can be shipped tonight. Jiang Chen felt that this customer service was a bit weird. If you want a ship, can you send it to ZekaidoJiang Express? As the most reputable and powerful express company in the Han Alliance, ZekaidoJiang Express has always done a good job in protecting the goods from damage. After all, the distance between cities is far, and you have to cross endless fog and monster territories in the middle, which is dangerous and dangerous. Dear, no, we don't accept designated express delivery, dear. Okay, then what kind of express delivery do you send? ZekaidoJiang. Pa. Jiang Chen turned off his mobile phone and gave the customer service a 1-star bad review. Jiang Chen, who was sulking, seemed to be still not satisfied. He picked up the phone and was about to add a bad review. The phone happened to ring. Pick up the phone. Hello, Jiang Chen, this is Duan Wei. A cool female voice came from the other end of the phone. It's like this. The Army Division wants to recruit you to help deal with a vicious incident that happened in the urban area of Qinglong. If it's convenient for you to come to our division. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen frowned. The Qingwu order had only been in his hands for a few days and it was already in use. His fingers kept tapping on the table, and Jiang Chen kept thinking about the pros and cons. It seemed too unreasonable to refuse the first call directly, and now he was preparing to go out of the city to ambush and kill Hao Niubai. After weighing the pros and cons, Jiang Chen had a plan. His subordinate Zhang Wei, who had the ability of the mimicry fruit, was now ready to play his role. First go to the division, and then let Zhang Wei transform into his appearance to temporarily assist the army division in investigating the incident. And he just happened to be a stealth, sneaking out of the city to quickly kill Hao Niubai, and then return to replace Zhang Wei. Perfect alibi. Perfect assassination. That's great, Jiang Chen couldn't help but sigh. With his clever brain, he should be very popular in the assassin business. It shouldn't be too much to be a killer king. Qinglong Army Branch Base. Jiang Chen drove for nearly 2 hours and arrived at this majestic fortress far away from the center of the bustling city and close to the mountains. In front of the gate, steel barriers were lined up. In the sentry boxes on both sides, 2 fully armed soldiers wearing helmets and bulletproof vests were standing upright, and their eagle-like eyes kept patrolling the surroundings. Under the reception of a special person, Jiang Chen passed through several buildings, with a sentry every 10 steps and a sentry every 5 steps, and came to a meeting room. Pushing open the door of the meeting room, Duan Wei and Lu Chang had been waiting for a long time. Several men with different styles and colorful clothes were sitting in front of the long round table. Seeing Jiang Chen, Lu Chang smiled and came forward. Now that you're here, I've been waiting for you. Come and sit down. Sorry, Captain Lu. This is my first time at the base. I'm a little lost. Jiang Chen smiled apologetically at Lu Chang. Humph. Who am I to be so arrogant? You're a rookie. You're so arrogant that you've made so many people here wait for you. An inappropriate voice sounded. It was a big man sitting in the corner, wearing a yellow jacket, with his arms folded across his chest, exposing his breasts, 1 foot on the conference table, with an arrogant look on his face. Wen Tai Hui. Stop talking. The big man snorted coldly. His contempt was evident in his words. Lu Chang frowned. We are all patriots who responded to the call. There's no need to make it so awkward. Then he looked at Jiang Chen. Come, let me introduce you. This is Jiu Kai, known as the Wind Chaser. He pointed to a man dressed as an ancient knight by the window, with a cold temperament and a sword in his arms. When he saw Lu Chang introducing himself, he bowed his head slightly and nodded. That one is called Lu Rini. He has great martial arts skills. His finger force is so strong that he can tear tigers and leopards apart alive. He is called the soul-scattering iron claw in the Jianghu. This one is called the iron palm floating on water, Qiu Wanren. His lightness skill is extraordinary. The masters who were called all nodded lightly. The strong have their own pride. Then Lu Chang pointed at the big man who was just weird. This is Wen Tai Hui, the Thunder Hand. Before he could finish speaking, Jiang Chen held his hand and interrupted him. Okay, Captain Lu, everyone is busy, let's get to the point. There's no need to introduce such an insignificant little character. Bang! The big man slammed the table, pointed at Jiang Chen's nose and cursed, "Boy! Who the hell are you calling a little character? You're a young, immature boy. You can't figure out your position. Lao Lu. I'm not saying anything bad about you, but your branch is going backwards. You can bring in any rotten person. Today, I'm going to teach you a lesson on behalf of your elders." After saying that, he stood up and was about to weigh it. "Old thing, you're very brave." Jiang Chen was also furious, and his fingers were crackling. Lu Chang and Duan Wei tried their best to dissuade the two, but they were pushed away one by one. "Lao Lu, don't stop me. I have to teach this kid a lesson today. He has no respect for his elders. Miss Duan Wei, get out of the way. I haven't met such interesting trash for a long time. He's old and takes advantage of his age." The other recruits sitting in their seats were motionless, watching the fun with interest. "Enough. Do you know who he is? He is Qinglong Jiang Chen." Lu Chang shouted, and pushed Wen Tai back to his seat. The scene was silent. Qinglong Jiang Chen. The strongest new generation who defeated the old cunning Wang Jia of the Blood Wolf group with one hand and suppressed the human-faced moth with a snap of his fingers. "Oh, sorry, I have heard of Brother Jiang for a long time. You are so handsome, you have both strength and appearance. Hurry up and take a seat, you must be tired after standing for so long. Brother Jiang, I have a daughter, 18 years old, who is not married yet, and I am in need of a good match." Jiang Chen. "I have heard of your name for a long time, and I am thinking of asking you for some sword skills. I wonder if you can give me some pointers." When the masters who were recruited heard that he was Jiang Chen, they were immediately excited and surrounded Jiang Chen, chatting with each other, a great prodigy from Qingqing. A new prodigy who surpassed by Qingshu of the natural department. He has unlimited potential in the future. If you get in touch with him, you will be able to rise to prominence in the future. You are too polite. I am just a junior and don't deserve such a title. Jiang Chen waved his hand. That's not right. As the saying goes, there is no order in learning, and the one who is more accomplished is the teacher. Brother Jiang is very powerful, and you and I hit it off right away. How about we become sworn brothers? I can also entrust my beloved daughter to you. From now on, you are my son-in-law, and I am your second brother. We will talk about our own things. Lu Rini, the iron hand of the soul scattering, held his hand tightly and said eagerly, "Kai, the wind-chasing sword eagle, and Shil Wanren, the iron palm floating on the water, me too. Fuck, a bunch of lunatics." Jiang Chen felt a chill when he thought of the fact that he had 3 younger brothers who were several times older than him. "Hey, you, the Thunder Hand, right? Why are you standing there? Why are you running?" Jiang Chen looked at Wen Taihui not far away, as if he had grabbed a life-saving straw. Chapter 53. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wen Taihui, who was about to run away, turned around awkwardly, grinning with his big yellow teeth. "I'm sorry, I admit that my voice was a bit loud just now, Mr. Jiang. I didn't recognize the great man. You are magnanimous, just treat me as a fart. To be honest, it's really a flood that has washed away the Dragon King Temple. My second brother's wife's niece is also studying in Qingqing No. 1 Middle School. Rounding it off, we are alumni." Hearing this, Jiang Chen was also a little amused, and the anger in his heart slowly dissipated. Damn, these people are quite funny when talking. Okay, everyone take a seat. Stop making trouble." Lu Chang took charge of the situation at this time and ended the farce. "Today, I recruited everyone to come here mainly to let everyone deal with a difficult case." Duan Wei stepped forward at the right time to open the computer PPT. The photos played on it were all mummies. Recently, there have been many vicious murders in Qingqing. Dozens of victims died at home for no reason. The deaths were extremely cruel, all of them were sucked dry. Lu Chang said in a deep voice. Everyone frowned, and Feng Zhuejian Jiao Kai expressed his opinion and said in a deep voice, killing is killing, there is no need to suck people dry. From what I think, it is probably that a monster has mixed into the city and is doing evil. That everyone also felt that Jiao Kai's analysis made sense. Jiang Chen took out a nail clipper to trim his nails, and casually agreed, Mr. Jiao is right. Lu Chang seemed to know what everyone would say, yes, we thought so at the beginning, but as the number of victims increased, we found that the victims all had a common identity. That is, they were all doctors or nurses at Sacred Heart Hospital. And any non-human existence would not be able to do such an operation. Lu Rini said, oh, then this was done by a person, a premeditated murder. Did Sacred Heart Hospital offend any force? There should be surveillance at the crime scene. There is indeed surveillance, but no similar suspects were found in the surveillance from beginning to end, which is also the most difficult. Lu Chang frowned and smiled bitterly. Qiu Wanren then spoke out his doubts, no matter how you look at it, this is a malicious murder case. Shouldn't it be handed over to the supervisory department? Jiang Chen agreed, Mr. Qiu is right, he didn't care about the murder case or the criminal suspect. He just wanted to be a criminal suspect and get rid of the Hao family quickly. Duan Wei said at this time, the supervision department can handle ordinary crimes and public security issues, but it is a bit powerless when it comes to crimes committed by mysterious masters. When Tai Hui, who was sitting in his seat with his head down like a quail egg, couldn't help but interrupt and said, it can avoid surveillance and suck people into mummies. It must be done by a very powerful ability user. In my impression, only the natural San fruit ability user can do it so quietly, and according to the warriors currently registered in Qingqing, it seems that no one has obtained a natural ability user. You mean, this was done by a warrior from outside the city? Jiang Chen continued to lower his head and fiddle with his nails, when Tai Hui's words make sense. Brother Jiang, thank you for the compliment. Just a little bit of my humble opinion, just a little bit of my humble opinion. When Tai Hui, who is considered a powerful person in the eyes of outsiders, kept nodding and bowing to Jiang Chen at this time, when Tai Hui straightened his back involuntarily. Although I haven't seen the murderer, I have already dug up all the information about the murderer. Humph, I am really a genius. We also have concerns in this regard, so we specially invited you to help. Lao Lu, you are not kind. You are killing us just because we have a good relationship, right? If he is really a natural San fruit ability user, how can you let us fight? Yes, even if you want us to exhaust the physical strength of the unknown strong man, you don't see how strong the destructive power of the San fruit is. It is not comparable to smoke. Don't let us be sucked dry before our physical strength is exhausted. Everyone is right that everyone complained. Be patient. Of course I know that natural ability users are not easy to deal with. Now I am just suspicious. Besides, I invited Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen was stunned. How did this melon fall on his head? Yes. Brother Jiang is the only one in Qingqing who has awakened his domineering power. If it's you, it's not impossible. Everyone seemed to have found their backbone, and they all looked at Jiang Chen with stars in their eyes. Damn. What the hell, I just wanted to get a mission, how did I become the core of the team? How can I implement my plan of replacing the pillars with the beams? Oh my god. Jiang Chen was confused. Wait, everyone, let me sort it out first. Brother Jiang, take your time, don't rush. Brother Jiang, are you thirsty? What's going on, Brother Lu? There's no fruit in the conference room. Jiang Chen's brain was working fast. Everyone, have we lost sight of the point? Since the murderer is constantly hunting the doctors and nurses of Sacred Heart Hospital, why don't we just stay in the vicinity of those doctors and nurses in secret? The murderer will surface. Brother Jiang is right. Great. Listening to Brother Jiang's words is like listening to the music of heaven. Well said, let's do as Brother Jiang says. No, you. We have thought of this method a long time ago, but the residences of these doctors and nurses are too scattered. Lu Chang interrupted from the side, but he couldn't get a word in. So what if they are scattered? Catching the murderer depends on luck. Those who are not protected by us are killed by the murderer. It can only be blamed on their bad luck. They are destined to die. Captain Liu, we are here to solve the problem, not to be babysitters. Jiang Chen's low voice echoed in the conference room. In the warm and pleasant conference room in March, Jiang Chen's words showed that he treated human life as worthless, which made everyone shudder inexplicably. Jiang Chen praised his wit. He didn't believe that with so many doctors and nurses in Sacred Heart Hospital, the murderer could find the person he wanted to protect first. As long as he played a good time difference, this matter would still be perfect. Jiang Chen. They are people. Living people, they may be fathers. Mothers. Sons. If those people were your relatives, you could be so cold and ruthless. Treat life like nothing. Duan Wei's chest rose and fell, her face flushed, and she couldn't help questioning Jiang Chen. Jiao Kai, Lu Rini and others looked at each other's noses, noses at mouths, and mouths at hearts. Dig a hole. One is the strongest genius in the history of Qinglong, and the other is the daughter of the strongest man in Qinglong. You can't afford to offend the gods. Answer me. Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen looked at Duan Wei as if she was a fool. Miss Duan, what nonsense are you talking about? If my relatives are threatened, I will certainly not remain indifferent. I will not only protect them, but I will also protect their safety even if I don't sleep. I believe that anyone will choose to protect their family. Then those people. Hey, you're right. Those people are not related to me. It's okay to take care of them, but it seems a bit unreasonable to want me to fight for them, right, Miss Duan? Duan Wei was speechless for a moment. She didn't know how to refute this cold-hearted existence. She suddenly felt a little lucky that she didn't invite Jiang Chen to join the military. It was a kind of luck. Jiang Chen, people can't be so heartless, at least they shouldn't. Ah, yes, you are right. Chapter 54. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At the roadside market, vendors were shouting non-stop. Jianbingguizi. Ah, a set of delicious jianbingguizi, don't miss it if you pass by. A young man with a shaved head and an apron was shouting loudly, looking around. Boss, do you still have pancakes? Two girls dressed as students passing by came to the stall to ask. Yes, how many do you want? The boss asked absent-mindedly, scratching the iron plate with a spatula. Well, 2 multigrain pancakes, right? Well, of course. The boss handsomely scooped up a large lump of dough and slammed it on the hot round iron plate. He found that most of the residue was still attached to the spoon and couldn't be evened out, so he kept knocking it there. This unfamiliar operation made the two girls a little confused. No, boss, I'm sorry to ask, how long have you been doing this? Oh, 7 or 8 years. The boss said confidently, and then kept scratching, trying to make the pancake round, performing a one-handed egg beating. The egg liquid mixed with the eggshell fell into the pancake, and he quickly reached out to clean up the eggshell and shivered from time to time from the iron plate. This series of actions made the two girls laugh. Boss, you forgot to add lettuce. Boss, this ham sausage is not something you can knead directly with your hands. Boss, your pancake seems to be broken. Finally, the two girls left with a bunch of broken pancakes with a depressed look on their faces, leaving a sentence before leaving. Boss, why don't you go to work in the factory? It's more promising than setting up a stall. After the busy boss sent the two guests away, he wiped the sweat from his head and began to look around again. At a nearby fried noodle stall, a pale-faced teenager was eating fast food with his head down, glancing at the pancake stall from time to time. That man was Fong Rong. Damn! Are all those black-hearted doctors at Sacred Heart Hospital protected? There are plainclothes sentries everywhere. It seems that the plan against Sacred Heart Hospital has to be shelved. Let's wipe out the Liuhe gang first. Throwing the change on the table, Fong Rong left without looking back. In the Liuhe bar with chaotic lights and explosive music, Qinglong, Zhang Wei, Lu Zibu and others were playing dice and drinking, and from time to time they looked at the beautiful girl in the center of the stage wearing cool clothes and dancing to the explosive music. Huh, Abu, you lost, drink it. Lu Zibu took a sip of the wine glass, but secretly left a third of it with his fingers, and then quickly picked up the bottle and filled it up. I'll finish this cup, you guys can do whatever you want. What are you doing? Are you just raising fish? Are you trying to avoid drinking? Do you think we are blind? At this time, Lu Hua, the new leader of Liuhe gang, came to Qinglong humbly and respectfully. Brother Cheng, how was your fun today? Oh, get out of here, don't bother me, do your own thing. Qinglong waved his hands impatiently. Oh, yes, I'll get out of here right away, Brother Cheng, remember to say a few good words for me in front of young Master Jiang. Then Lu Hua took out a few big envelopes and gave them to Qinglong and the others one by one. Qinglong's envelope looked particularly big. Zhang Wei opened it casually, and saw a pile of banknotes inside. Wow, Brother Cheng is quite generous. If he wants to give, just take it. It is our principle to take money and not do anything. Stupid, and you want Brother Cheng to say a few good words for him in front of the president. If the president appreciates him, we can't say bad things. If the president doesn't appreciate him, it's useless even if he gives us 10 huazi. At the door of Liuhe bar, the welcoming doorman was yawning out of boredom. Whenever he felt sleepy, he would turn his head and look at the slim beauties through the glass, and then his eyes would light up, as if he had been injected with chicken blood, and he would start his hard work on duty again. Whenever a drunk female customer left, he would also help her up and down and send her to a taxi. It's a crappy job, the money doesn't matter, I just like the atmosphere. As he was thinking about it, the doorman suddenly saw a young boy wrapped in black clothes walking towards him across the street, or to be more precise, towards Liuhe bar. Hey, what the heck, stop, minors are not allowed in the bar, the doorman yelled. The young man was obviously stunned. I spend money, the bar makes money, isn't that what you want to see most? Huh? Kid, so what? I have principles. The doorman's mouth fell. He had a fixed salary of 2,000 baileys a month. It didn't matter to me whether the bar was doing well or not. If you, a minor, were reported and the bar closed, where would I go to see the beauties? Fong Rong was slightly stunned, revealing a pale face. You are a good person. And good people should live well. Then Fong Rong continued to walk into the bar. Hey, why don't you listen to my advice, go, the doorman said as he was about to grab Fong Rong's arm. Fong Rong just waved his hand lightly, and the doorman immediately felt a burst of force coming, and then was thrown across the street of the bar. The force was both fierce and gentle, and it actually made the doorman land safely. The doorman, who came back to his senses, combined with the boy's confusing words before leaving, secretly said, "It's bad. This person is suspicious, and he is probably here to cause trouble for Liuhe bar." That he quickly took out his mobile phone and reported the situation to his superior. The supervisor who received the news quickly found the boy through search. Hey! Boy, you are looking for trouble, right? Come with us. The bar manager crossed his arms and stared at Fong Rong coldly. 5 or 6 burly men surrounded him. Fong Rong raised his pale face and grinned, "I'd love to." Who are you? In the basement, the former bar manager and his men had long been dead in a pool of blood, their hearts missing from their chests, and they seemed to be full of surprise before they died. Lu Hua and several high-level members of the Liuhe gang looked at the existence in front of them that looked like a vampire in myth and legend, and asked with great vigilance. Who am I? I'm just a ghost wandering in the world without any worries. Humph, playing tricks. You think there's some internal turmoil in the Liuhe gang, and any cat or dog dares to provoke you, right? A high-level strongman of the Liuhe gang flipped his palm and a butterfly knife appeared in his hand. Go to hell. A terrible attack like a ghost snake exploring a cave pierced Fong Rong's throat. Seeing that the young man didn't dodge, the man snorted coldly, thinking that he had met a fool. Lu Hua felt something was wrong when he saw the boy's calm appearance, so he retreated behind everyone. Sure enough, something unexpected happened. The man's butterfly knife pierced the boy's abdomen and blood splattered. Before the senior executive could mock him, the splattered blood seemed to drill into the hole like tentacles. Soon, it wrapped up the senior executive. With the creepy chewing sounds, the blood automatically flowed back into the boy's body. The boy showed an expression of enjoyment, but the senior executive exposed by the blood had already become a mummy. Everyone in the Ryoja gang felt a chill rushing to the top of their heads. What kind of monster is this? Chapter 55. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Before Lu Hua and the others could react, the devil-like boy grinned, and the ferocious flesh wings behind him suddenly stretched out. You all have to die here today, that the chilling words shook the surroundings. Don't be afraid. This kid's fruit ability is a bit weird, everyone be careful. Damn. When I was killing people, you didn't even know where to play in the mud. One person drew out the puteo beside him and swung the knife with all his strength to slash. At the same time, his body began to become hot and the strong high temperature burned the puteo red. It appears. The ability of the deputy gang leader. The superhuman heat fruit ability user. Can emit high temperature from the body, just like the sun. Now the highest combat power of the Ryoja gang, that the people of the Ryoja gang next to him cheered and jumped for joy. Fong Rong stood in place, blood seeped out of his skin and spread to form a pool of blood. Dozens of tentacles made of blood strangled the deputy gang leader. The deputy gang leader dodged flexibly, moved coquettishly, and swung the hot machete from time to time to cut off the tentacles, like hot oil pouring on snow, and the cut tentacles sizzled. It must be said that blood and many liquids are mostly afraid of high temperatures. Boy! Your fruit ability is completely restrained by me. Let's see what you can use to fight me. The deputy gang leader grinned, and with a swing of the knife, he split Fong Rong's figure in two. The touch is wrong. This is an afterimage. A cold breath sounded from behind the deputy gang leader. I'm here. Fong Rong was suspended in the air, his arms stretched out, and behind him were huge bat wings that covered the sky and the sun. The whole person seemed like a demon lord who dominated the world. Countless blood-colored bats kept breaking off from Fong Rong. They hit the deputy gang leader like raindrops, and the blood-colored bats quickly wrapped him up and bit him. The deputy gang leader struggled hard, and the little bat that was crushed by him burst into pieces. The blood flowed strangely as if it was going to seep into his body. Ah! Bastard! Don't even think about it. I am the sun. The deputy gang leader screamed in pain, and his body suddenly emitted endless light and heat. The fiery red light illuminated his body, and his body, which was as hot as magma, continued to burn the blood around him. All things in the world are interdependent and mutually exclusive. Don't think you can do whatever you want with the fruit. That the deputy gang leader squatted down and gathered his strength with his feet, then suddenly jumped up. He emitted a fiery and bright light all over his body and crashed into Fong Rong like a meteor. You are cruel and merciless, and you prey on all living things. Have you ever experienced their fear? Fong Rong also flapped his wings, and a storm suddenly arose. Endless blood gathered around his body, and he also swooped down. The fiery meteor and the blood-colored long rainbow collided with each other. The collision produced a violent explosion, and the scorching high temperature and thick blood-colored steam filled the entire space. The two sides confronted each other. Fong Rong's sharp claws stabbed into the deputy gang leader's chest. The deputy gang leader held his arm tightly and tried his best to stop the claws from moving forward. The scorching heat roasted Fong Rong's entire arm and made it sizzle with oil. A smell of meat filled the air. Stop it. Boy, how about we each take a step back? You and I have never met before, how can there be such a big hatred? As the saying goes, there is no acquaintance without fighting. Why don't we turn hostility into friendship? Make friends. The deputy gang leader gritted his teeth and said with a red face, and his obviously hot body actually showed a trace of cold sweat, Fang Rong was indifferent, not caring about his injured arm at all, and his claws slowly and firmly penetrated into the deputy gang leader's body. So you will be afraid when you encounter more powerful violence? You will be terrified. Asshole. Lu Hua, what are you waiting for? You want to see me die, right? The door suddenly opened in a void, and a fine steel spear pierced Fang Rong's chest directly from behind. It was Lu Hua who threw a spear from a distance and hit Fang Rong. He was about to run after throwing it. Fang Rong felt pain, and the blood oozing from his back turned into a hook and quickly moved forward to tie up Lu Hua. Want to escape back to the space? Dream on. The deputy gang leader also fought hard at this time. The hand with high temperature directly roasted the flesh and blood on Fang Rong's entire arm into charcoal and peeled off, leaving only a skeleton. Fang Rong was like a madman, and the other arm that was still intact suddenly broke its bones, and the sharp bone spurs directly pierced into the deputy gang leader's throat. Ha! Ha! The deputy gang leader repelled Fang Rong with a palm, covered his throat that was constantly bleeding, and kept retreating, his face full of disbelief. He couldn't figure out what hatred and resentment the boy who would rather hurt himself than die with him had with him. Fang Rong half knelt on the ground, gasping for breath, with a spear stuck in his chest and his left arm completely broken. Do you know Fang Qian? Fang Qian? Who is that? Did I die because of this name? How ridiculous. The deputy gang leader didn't know until his death why this brutal boy killed him. Fang Rong struggled to get up, and violently pulled out the sharp weapon in front of his chest, and Fang Rong threw the bloody and fleshy body on the ground. Lu Hua swallowed unconsciously when he saw Fang Rong's actions. This guy was too cruel to him. You are the new leader of the Liuhe gang. Looking at the tied Lu Hua in front of him, he looked up to the sky and howled. One of the culprits has finally fallen into his hands. Do you still remember the woman who was innocently affected by you a few days ago? What? Don't be excited, sir. You want a woman, right? I'll give it to you. I'll find you any woman you want. Lu Hua was tied up all over and couldn't use his ability to escape. He couldn't understand what this guy said at all. What innocent woman? There are so many people who have been killed by accident over the years. Who would care about the life and death of ordinary people? Fang Rong covered his face with blood and tears and trembled, laughing crazily, ha ha ha. It's ridiculous. Your life is precious, and the lives of ordinary people are just pigs and dogs, right? Ha ha ha. That he suddenly became very calm. You'd better die. A blood arrow shot at Lu Hua swiftly. Brother Cheng, save me. A black shadow passed by, and the broad palm directly slapped the blood arrows away. It was Cheng Dongqing who saved Lu Hua. At this time, Cheng Dongqing had already activated his fruit ability, and his huge body of 6 meters high was like a prehistoric beast. Crossing in front of the two people. This, half-human, half-ghost sir, has made enough trouble and killed enough. You can't touch this person. Cheng Dongqing held a cigarette in his mouth and blew out a few smoke rings, looking down at Fang Rong, and said casually. Are you from the Liuhe gang? Humph. No. You want to stop me? Yes. Why? You ask me why. Just because I am the first general under Qinglong Jiang Chen. This place is protected by our president Jiang. Cheng Dongqing lowered his head and looked at Fang Rong with contempt. Don't make a mistake, kid. Qinglong Jiang Chen. The first genius of Qingqing, who possesses the strongest animal fruit ability. A monster that is invincible in the same realm. Who in Qingqing doesn't know his name? Each of these names makes Fang Rong breathless. I thought Qinglong Jiang Chen was such a hero, but now I see that he is just a bully. They are all birds of a feather. Boy. I think you don't want to live anymore. Chapter 56. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You're looking for death. As the number 1 lackey under the president, the number 1 thug, Cheng Dongqing was furious when he saw that this man dared to insult Jiang Chen in front of him. The huge dragon tail just swayed gently and cracked the floor. Tornado destroys the parking lot. Qinglong exerted force on his waist and turned around. The dragon swung its tail, and the ferocious giant whip swept across Fong Rong while whistling. Fong Rong, who was slightly weak, couldn't dodge at all. He could only passively wrap his whole body with bat wings. The violent impact smashed Fong Rong and his wings directly into the wall and buried him under the ruins. What a broken bar, earthquakes all day long. I can't play anymore, refund the money, I won't come again. Hee, if you don't come, I will. Oh, sister, there is an earthquake, brother, let me take you home. Demai, that the spectators in the bar who didn't know the truth shouted, the basement that had just been renovated became a ruin again. Brother Cheng, how is it, is that guy dead? Zhang Wei, Lu Zibu and others asked. Who knows? Qinglong spit out the cigarette in his mouth, his face solemn. Take that Lu Hua to stay aside, the battle has just begun. As an outstanding 3-good student of Qinqing No. 1 Middle School, Qinglong is also a veteran fighter with rich combat experience. Although he is not as good as Jiang Chen and He Wei, who are unique geniuses, he is also a good fighter who followed Jiang Chen to chop from South Street to North Street with 2 machetes. He has seen all kinds of scenes. He only showed a silly look in front of Jiang Chen. In the eyes of outsiders, Qinglong, who is tall and strong and has the ability of the ancient Brachiosaurus fruit, is also a ferocious existence. Under the ruins, the brick and stone walls were quickly pushed away by tentacles made of blood. Countless blood lifted Fong Rong up like a king. I will not lose. With a low roar, the voice and smile of his sister Fong Qian kept appearing in Fong Rong's mind. Countless tentacles bit at Qinglong like poisonous snakes, and the blood tentacles kept wrapping around his body. Unfortunately, Qinglong's body was too big and his skin was thick, so the damage caused by the blood tentacles was minimal. Knowing the abnormality of the opponent's blood control ability and his own great vitality, Qinglong simply gave up defense, overwhelmed by force. In the low basement, in the narrow space, Fong Rong, who lost his flying advantage, could only choose to fight Qinglong head-on. Roar! A giant dragon roared, and the terrifying shock wave directly crushed the blood around him. Fong Rong was shocked by the sudden roar and lost consciousness for a short time. Resisting the blood whip that kept whipping him, the tall and ferocious monster rushed towards Fong Rong with heavy steps that shook the ground 3 times with every step. Iron block. Finger gun dragon claw attack. The 2 powerful arms used a speed that was inconsistent with their body size, and slapped Fong Rong with both claws at the same time like slapping a fly. Fong Rong, who was originally a technical flow, was now in a favorable situation. His advantage in flying in the basement was compressed, and the huge and thick body of Qinglong on the opposite side further compressed his space for dodging and maneuvering. In addition to the continuous fierce battle and serious injuries, Fong Rong was already at the end of his strength at this time. I will not resign myself to it. Fong Rong stimulated his last potential, and more blood was squeezed out of his body again, and his face became visibly paler. Bloody spider web. The densely packed silk threads composed of highly condensed blood formed a line of defense to frantically resist Qinglong's dragon claw attack. Both sides roared at the same time and began to wrestle. Insult big brother. You have already got a way to die. Break it for me. Qinglong squeezed hard with both claws. His face was ferocious. My road to revenge has just begun. I will never fall here. Fong Rong roared wildly and was not willing to be outdone. After a period of stalemate, Fong Rong finally lost his strength and Qinglong broke through the blood defense line with overwhelming force and slapped Fong Rong's body with his claws together. Thick blood splattered everywhere, Qinglong was bathed in blood and loosened his palm, and Fong Rong's body fell to the ground from his hand. At this time, Fong Rong was beaten into a beast form, and his bones were broken. Blood was flowing, and a blood hole the size of a gun barrel was pierced in his chest and abdomen. The left arm had been torn to the shoulder and the burn marks were vaguely visible. Qinglong looked at Fong Rong, who was in a young age, and shook his head, somewhat surprised that he was as young as himself. "Are you also a student?" "If I had known this would happen, I would have done it in the first place." That the reckless boy was ignorant of the immensity of the world and always insisted on doing things his own way, but he didn't know that life is only once and there is no chance to go back. The boy lying in a pool of blood was not dead yet. A hoarse voice sounded, "I hate it. Why? Why should my sister die like an ant without knowing what's going on? Why don't I even have the qualifications to avenge her? Why? Why do you protect a scum just because of one person's preference? Why can't this world accommodate the desire of an ordinary person who just wants to live an ordinary and stable life? I hate it." In a ruined basement, the dying cry of the boy was deafening. Qinglong turned and looked at Feng Rong. "You are 18 years old, you should not be so naive. I have seen many cynical young people like you. This world is inherently unfair. Some people are born with prominent family backgrounds and do whatever they want, while others are born monsters and look down on all living beings. Why do you think that anger can change your fate? If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for being born in the wrong place, in this era of decline. Everyone is so hypocritical and pedantic. You are young and ignorant, and you naively think that you can change the people and things around you as long as you don't like them. You naively think that you can change this era." Qinglong shook his head and sighed. "Do you think you live in an era where people eat people? Wrong. That's because there are really monsters that eat people in the outside world, outside of human civilization." Following Jiang Chen's influence, Qinglong couldn't help but be very satisfied with his speech just now. Although he is not very smart, he is still a pitiful person. Qinglong looked at Lu Hua with contempt. "It's all the fault of your Liuhe gang. It's unfair, Brother Cheng. I admit that the Liuhe gang used to do some evil things, but Brother Cheng, you know me. I am a coward and never take the initiative to cause trouble. I have never participated in any of the dirty things that the Liuhe gang did before." Lu Hua smiled bitterly with an innocent face. "Now the core members of the Liuhe gang are almost all dead except me. This boy should have taken revenge if he wanted to." After listening to Qinglong's words, the boy's eyes seemed to have lost their light. Chapter 57. You are listening at novelfull.audio. "So, Brother Cheng, this kid seems to still have a breath left. What should we do?" Lu Hua lowered his eyebrows and looked at Qinglong with a cautious look in his eyes. "What else can we do? Give him a quick death. Let him go peacefully." Qinglong whispered softly, "I am so gentle. Ha 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 ha. It's so lively." A burst of wanton and arrogant laughter rang out. "Who is it?" Lu Hua, Qinglong and others looked at the source of the sound, and saw 5 people wearing red robes and white faceless masks at the entrance of the basement, standing there in place. Looking at the black heart pattern engraved on the chest of the strange existence on the red robe, Lu Hua screamed, "It's the Black Heart Society." Black Heart Society? What the hell is that? Qinglong was puzzled, while Zhang Wei, Lu Zibu, Ren Qianqing and Lu Hua secretly hugged each other and confronted the people of the Black Heart Society on the opposite side. "Brother Cheng, you don't know that this Black Heart Society is one of the 4 major underground forces in Xinjiang. It specializes in human trafficking. Small gangs like our Liuhe gang often have to obey them. The Liuhe gang's previous business of secretly trafficking people was also instructed by them." Lu Hua patiently explained on the side. Black Heart Society. Feng Rong, lying on the ground, pointed at the 5 people with unwillingness and resentment in his eyes. "It's really interesting. Is the Liuhe gang so weak? It was beaten up like this by a mere teenager. It's a pity that the higher-ups want us to educate you. It's ridiculous. Do you still need to educate? Everyone is dead, haha." The 5 people mocked them unscrupulously, and then looked at Feng Rong on the ground with a greedy look as if he was looking at a stunning beauty, but there is still something to gain. It's really a perfect material. A rare user of the fruit ability of the fantasy beast species, with such tenacious vitality and great regeneration ability. Those crazy people who love to do experiments must be very happy. Huan, we can sell it for a good price, thief, ha ha ha. Then he looked at Qinglong and the others. Thanks to you guys, you saved us a lot of effort. As a thank you, I will give you a perfect destination. By the way, where do you want to be sold as slaves? Perfect. It's too perfect. The Liuhe gang is almost dead, the mastermind who is against us has also appeared, and we have found such a perfect product. Today must be our lucky day. Those people talked unscrupulously and obviously regarded Qinglong and the others as lambs to be slaughtered. The sinister tone made Lu Hua, Qinglong and the others feel cold on their backs and their hair stood up. Oh no, it's not easy to deal with Brother Cheng. I know. The aura exuded by these people is not inferior to mine. The leader might even be a bronze player. Qinglong whispered to Zhang Wei and others with a gloomy face, when the situation is not right, you run first, I will hold them back. Brother Cheng. You really. I am crying. Brother Cheng, my friend. And you are the real hero. I will take care of your wife and children, don't cheat on them. Zhang Wei, Lu Zibu and others were moved to tears. Qinglong was full of black lines, he suddenly felt that it was not impossible for him to run away. Brothers, don't get excited, don't worry, I am here. Lu Hua said secretly behind everyone. Yes, the superhuman door fruit ability user is here. If you can't beat him, just run away, and go back to find the big brother to call for help. Qinglong immediately became more aggressive. Hey! Who are you, the rats who dare not show their true faces, barking here? What are you talking about? Black Heart Society. My elder brother is Qinglong Jiang Chen. Qinglong pointed at the 5 members of the Black Heart Society with his nose in the air, and shouted arrogantly. The 5 masked members of the Black Heart Society were obviously stunned, and then looked at each other. Things seemed to be a little troublesome. My elder brother. Qinglong Jiang Chen. Qinglong Jiang Chen. Did he ask you to intervene in the affairs of the Liuhe gang and oppose us? My elder brother. Qinglong Jiang Chen. You said you are Qinglong Jiang Chen's man, what evidence do you have? My elder brother. Qinglong Jiang Chen. What? Stop talking, my elder brother. Qinglong Jiang Chen. If you don't dare to do anything, get out of here. Qinglong pointed at the 5 people's noses and shouted arrogantly. Boss. I can't stand it anymore, just kill this guy. That the leader thought for a moment. He had no way to prove whether they were really related to Jiang Chen, but he also had no way to prove that they were fake. For this kind of thing, it is better to believe it than not to believe it. It is better to kill someone by mistake than to let him go. Boy, I just wanted to sell you guys, but now it seems that I have to kill you on the spot. As long as all of you present here are dead, and then you will be scattered all over the place. Even if Qinglong Jiang Chen comes in person, so what? I don't believe he can find us murderers. The leader smiled sinisterly, and the 5 people slowly stepped forward and surrounded Qinglong and the others. Damn! What's wrong with Brother Cheng? It seems that calling out the name of the big brother doesn't work. Why is the murderous aura on the other side even stronger? How the hell do I know? I saw in other novels that the protagonist's younger brother called out the protagonist's name, and the villain immediately left in disgrace. Brother Cheng, why are your academic performance so bad? How can you get good grades if you read novels every day? Also, it seems that the villains die faster when they shout at the backstage. Don't talk nonsense. I'll hold them back. Lu Hua, quickly activate the ability of the door-to-door fruit. Received. Lu Hua immediately made a seal with his left hand and drew a circle with his right hand in the air, muttering a spell. Demons and ghosts, please leave. Demons and ghosts, please leave. Damn. Am I seeing this right? When is it? When does the door-to-door fruit need to use spells and gestures? Lv Zibu was madly complaining on the side. Brothers, you don't know that people have different physiques. Even if it is the same fruit, everyone's usage and development degree are different. I, Lu Hua, have studied for half a lifetime and found that the best effect of opening the door is to combine the formula with the gesture. Study a fart, I think you are stunned by the animation movie. At this time, Qinglong had already enlarged his body, protecting Lu Hua, Lu Zibu and others behind him, and desperately resisting the crazy attacks from the 5 people. Turning around, damn. Why hasn't this door opened yet? Lu Hua. Can you do it, little dog? Qinglong yelled at Lu Hua. At this time, Lu Hua's face was flushed and sweating. Don't rush me, the more you rush me, the more nervous I am. The 5 people saw their plan, not good. These people are going to escape. Brothers, don't hide it. Go all out. Quick battle. We must not let them escape from here. Otherwise, we will definitely die later. That's Qinglong Jiang Chen, we can't afford to offend him, that the leader roared, and his hands turned into huge long swords. Whoever stands in my way will die. Double sword style undivided slash. Chapter 58. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bah. What's going on? The murderer is not going to kill again, right? Spitting out the dogtail grass in his mouth and brushing off the dust on his body, thunderhand when Taihui stood up from the bushes. He was a bronze master, squatting in the bushes and being bitten by mosquitoes all night, and he didn't get anything. When Taihui was busy all night, he was busy all night. Damn, a san fruit user is so cowardly. Although when Taihui had never seen the murderer, he was extremely confident that the murderer must be a san fruit user. He was so confident in his perfect reasoning. At this time, on a big bed in a room in a residential building, Jiang Chen, who had slept soundly all night, opened his eyes. In the corner of the room, a doctor from the Sacred Heart Hospital, who was the owner of this house, and his wife, children, parents, a family of 5, were fainted in the corner. That's right, Jiang Chen was responsible for monitoring that doctor last night. He didn't want to suffer like when Taihui for a whole night, so he simply went directly into the surveillance person's house, hit each person on the head, knocked them unconscious, put them in front of him, and then went to sleep, resting and monitoring at the same time. He believed that with his observation hockey, as long as the murderer dared to appear in front of him, he would definitely not be able to escape. Last night was Christmas Eve. Then he got up and took out a box of fresh Contemporary Ranch fresh milk from the refrigerator, and took out a few eggs, and made a few boiled eggs in the kitchen casually, making do with breakfast. After breakfast, he casually put the family of 5 back to their respective bedrooms and beds, and covered them with quilts. I protected you all night, slept in your house, ate a few eggs and drank a bottle of milk. It's not too much. This is a blessing you can't cultivate in 8 lifetimes. Jiang Chen sighed. Is there anyone in the world who is more kind than me? The cunning murderer who Ling Wen Taihui, Jiang Chen, and the army branch had been waiting for all night had already been taken away by the Black Heart Society. Just at this moment, Gu Qinglong called. President, please come back soon. Qinglong is injured. In the exclusive medical room of the student union, Jiang Chen looked at Qinglong, who was wrapped in bandages and had 2 huge X-shaped scars on his chest, eating and drinking, and frowned. What's going on? Who beat you up like this? Woo, brother, I'm so happy to be able to come back alive to see you. Brother, you don't know how dangerous it was last night. I almost couldn't see you. As Qinglong, Zhang Wei and others talked about it, Jiang Chen gradually understood the cause of the incident. You mean, last night the Liuhe gang was destroyed by a boy who possessed the animal-type bat fruit and was in the form of a mythical beast vampire, then you, Qinglong, fought back and forth with the boy to save Lu Hua, and finally defeated him, then you were picked up by the underground organization of the Black Heart Society and were injured by the leader of the Black Heart Society. At the critical moment, you were lucky enough to be rescued by the air door opened by Lu Hua. Yes, that's right. Otherwise, the big brother is the big brother, and his words are clear and logical. Qinglong kept nodding his head. What you experienced tonight was quite exciting, more like the protagonist than the protagonist. However, in the final analysis, you were defeated because you were too weak. Xiao Cheng, Qing Dongqing lowered his head embarrassedly. Big brother taught me that I will not fail again. Humph. This matter is over. When your injury is healed, I will give you a special training. I will use my iron fist of love to stimulate your potential. Jiang Chen clasped his hands together, and his finger bones crackled. Big brother, don't, as if recalling the fear of being dominated. Qing Dongqing immediately turned bitter. Everyone on the side covered their mouths and laughed, and Lu Zibu, Zhang Wei and others started to make noises. Oh, brother Cheng is just lame. Oh, so you are very brave. Jiang Chen looked at them with a playful look. Of course, President. We are very brave, we have been training recently. Really? Then let's go to the special training with Qing Dongqing. Ah, President, we are wrong. No, President. Humph, don't even think about escaping. Zhang Wei and Lu Zibu immediately fell like Qing Dongqing before. This is really doomed. Qing Dongqing's bitter face suddenly turned into a smile. He was very happy to see his brothers suffering with him. He couldn't bear to see his brothers suffering, and was afraid that his brothers would drive a Land Rover, but it was different when they suffered together. In an unknown underground base, complex electronic instruments were installed in the White Rooms. In the technological passage, a group of scientific researchers in white coats were the staff opened a password door, passed through layers of disinfection, and entered one of the rooms, through a piece of coated glass that could only see inside the room but not outside. A teenager was lying quietly on the operating table. His arms, legs, and neck were each controlled by a circle of solid steel rings and chains. Several doctors stood around, dressed in sterile clothes and gloves, and were cutting open the boy's stomach. As the kidneys, liver and gallbladder were taken out, only a heart and a pair of lungs were left. But even so, the boy never died. His heart was still beating weakly when exposed to the air. Quick, give him a blood transfusion, and don't stop giving him glucose. The devil-like white-coated staff shouted excitedly through the glass. See! See! His blood is constantly coagulating, trying to regenerate organs. Really powerful regeneration ability. As expected of a rare user of the fantasy beast fruit. Really a perfect experimental carrier. If it were him, he should be able to withstand the backlash of the drug and not explode and die. Yes, that boy is Fong Rong. Sold by the Black Heart Society to one of the four giants of the underground evil forces, the SA contracting organization that loves human experiments. The boy Fong Rong looked at the white-clothed researchers who were constantly fiddling with his body, but deep in his eyes, there was a deep hatred. In the few hours they were detained, this group of perverted lunatics kept cutting and studying his body with scalpels. On the other hand, blood from unknown sources mixed with energy liquid was constantly transported into his body through machines to maintain his vitality. Watching his intestines. Internal organs. Being dug out, they didn't even give him anesthesia. The pain of irritation tortured Fong Rong all the time. The researchers looked at Fong Rong as if he was looking at a rare treasure. It's perfect, even his will is so firm. You know, I didn't give him a drop of anesthetic in these 3 hours. One of the men in a white coat spoke excitedly. I have said it before, animal-type ability users are the most suitable experimental subjects. Look at how tenacious the vitality of this mythical beast species is. I really don't know how strong the body of Jiang Chen, who is known as the first genius of Qingcheng and the strongest animal-type fish fruit mythical beast species Qinglong ability user in history, is. I really want to dissect him. Chapter 59. You are listening at novelfull.audio. President, I have news. Hao Nyobi, the director of the supervisory department, is about to leave for the monster defense line tomorrow. Gu Qingying passed the latest information to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen breathed a sigh of relief. I've been waiting for so many days, I'm so depressed, I finally caught him. Let everything go according to plan. Let Zhang Wei transform into my appearance and continue to monitor and track the doctors at the Sacred Heart Hospital. The army division probably didn't expect that the murderer who waited for death had been taken away by the Black Heart Society. Keep this a secret and tell Lu Hua and Qing Dongqing to keep their mouths shut. The news will rot in my stomach. Continue to investigate with the army division in a perfunctory manner. In addition, put aside the matter of the Black Heart Society for now. All members should pay attention to safety. When I have time, I will settle the accounts. Since listening to Qing Dongqing's description that night, the boy can control blood and is a rare fantasy beast vampire form ability user. His intuition tells him that this boy is definitely related to the murder case at the Sacred Heart Hospital. As expected, after a careful interrogation of Lu Hua, coupled with Gu Qingying's investigation, the boy's name was Fang Rong, and his sister Fang Qian happened to die in Sacred Heart Hospital a few days ago. Even more coincidentally, his sister was just an ordinary person implicated when Jiang Chen killed the former leader of Liuhe gang. What a miserable guy. Picking up the information on the table, Fang Rong's photo suddenly appeared on the paper. Jiang Chen frowned. Isn't this the boy he met when he visited his father that day? He looks familiar. It turns out to be that innocent and righteous guy. Interesting. He has the top fruit. His parents died when he was young. Now his sister died tragically and he was captured for biological experiments and suffered inhumane torture. This is the treatment of the protagonist. If he can survive, what kind of person will he become? How to create a hero or a devil? Strong talent. Illustrated family background. Endless opportunities. None of them. Just give him a bad life. Qingcheng, a border fortress, the huge airship that covered the sky and the sun was rampant in the sky. On the flat road on the left, travelers coming and going were either hurriedly dragging their luggage, or laughing and playing with their children in the large reception hall near the apron waiting for the arrival of the airship. These were people who wanted to take the airship to other cities. It was too dangerous for the wild monsters on the ground in this world. There were few monsters flying in the sky. And the air route was the safest route between cities, especially with the popularity of sea stone. Most airships were mixed with sea stone fragments at the bottom. The disgusting smell of sea stone could drive away most monsters, and even travel through the fog, which could effectively reduce the sense of existence and avoid being targeted by strange things. On the other right road where Jiang Chen was walking, people were also in a hurry. At the end of the right road stood a pass, and one of the entrances out of the city was here. There were various machine gun bunkers nearby, and the electrified barbed wire surrounded them. Army personnel with live ammunition kept patrolling back and forth. On the road, there were warriors everywhere wearing various costumes, carrying swords, sniper rifles, and grenades on their waists. Cold weapons and hot weapons complement each other. Jiang Chen, who was wearing a black robe to cover his burly body, had a hideous evil ghost mask on his face, a misty hat on his head, and a cold breath that kept strangers away. The terrifying sense of oppression made people along the way avoid him involuntarily. Who is this person? He is so pretentious. Why do I feel like kneeling down and worshipping him for no reason? Kid, you are asking for your life. You don't know that disaster comes from your mouth. You are about to leave the city, and there is no way out of the city. In the middle of the road, an off-road vehicle with weapons on its body after modification sped past, rolling up a cloud of dust. The driver stuck his head out and said, "Get out of the way. I am not responsible for killing people." In the middle of the road, whether it was a weathered old hunter or a fledgling warrior, they all avoided him. A young warrior with a childish face was a student who sneaked out to see the world outside the city. He was unable to react for a moment when he saw the steel giant beast coming. He was about to hit it. At the critical moment, Jiang Chen kicked a stone with his foot. The stone made a sharp sound and hit the boy and took him away directly. In a split second, the huge wheel passed in front of the boy. The fierce driver yelled at the boy from the window, "Blind. You want to die." And then drove away. The boy's thigh was pierced by a stone, and he was bleeding and wailing in pain. His companions came forward and looked at the boy helplessly. with cute and innocent eyes, and bandaged him in a hurry. Blood, this group of kids who may not even be 18 years old dared to venture out of the city together. Jiang Chen just glanced at them casually, shook his head and continued to move forward. Ah, so fierce. That kick is so handsome. Is this the world of adults? It's so cool. Seeing Jiang Chen's rough way of saving people, the little friends who wanted to thank him gave up. Although they felt the brutal and fierce atmosphere outside the city before leaving the city, this did not stop these children from going out of the city to explore. They picked up the boy and hurried to the pass, and soon passed Jiang Chen. The injured boy shouted, "I won't go, let me go home." The boys and girls shouted while running, "Don't worry. We won't abandon any companions." The guard at the pass stopped the boys with an impatient look on his face. "Get lost. This is not a place for children." "Uncle, we are here to leave the city." "Who are you calling uncle? Leaving the city? Do you have an ID card? Where does your family live? Which school do you go to? What is your parents' contact number?" "No. If you don't have one, stay away. Get lost." The group of boys and girls looked at each other, blinking their big eyes, somewhat at a loss, with clear and simple stupidity in their eyes. "Uncle, I haven't heard of these things to leave the city. You can go out whenever you want." The guard was full of black lines on his head. Although he was often exposed to the sun, he was only 25 or 26 years old. "Don't talk nonsense. If you don't have it, you can't get out." Just then, Jiang Chen, who was pacing over, also came over. "Hey! You little brats are blocking my way." Jiang Chen's deep voice echoed, and the guards and the group of teenagers felt a chill on their backs. The group of teenagers silently made way and stepped aside. Just as Jiang Chen was about to pass by, a girl's timid voice rang out. "Uncle, thank you for saving Ahau. You are a very nice person. This is for you." After saying that, a girl with bright eyes, white teeth and collagen on her face took out a box of bear biscuits from her backpack and handed it to Jiang Chen carefully. Jiang Chen's tall figure turned his head and looked at them without saying a word. They swallowed their saliva and sweat oozed from their heads. The guard stepped forward and said, "Sir, you are just a group of children. There is no need to be so knowledgeable." Jiang Chen turned his head and ignored them. He walked through the pass and left. The little girl looked a little disappointed when she saw Jiang Chen leave directly. "Hey, guard, why don't you go ask him for his ID card?" "Yes, and his parents' phone number and home address." The guard, with a frown on his face, shouted. "Stop talking nonsense, get out of here, you hear me? Your companion is bleeding to the crotch, can you send him to the hospital first?" Chapter 60. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the wilderness, dozens of modified off-road vehicles were driving along the abandoned and dilapidated road. There was a ferocious red wolf head pattern tattooed on the body of each vehicle. "Come on, Admiral Duan, would like to offer you a drink." "I'll drink first, you can do whatever you want." In one of the RVs, Hao Nyobi, the director of the supervision office, was drinking and having fun with the admiral of the Blood Wolf group and a group of senior cadres, toasting and chatting happily. "Xiao Nyo, you can drink a lot." Sitting in the main seat was a burly man with dark skin, lush hair, and a rare cheerful look. He was the leader of the Blood Wolf group, the Blood Wolf Admiral, Duan Lang. I don't deserve it, how can I compare my drinking capacity with yours?" "Woo ha ha ha." Duan Lang laughed heartily, but suddenly his expression became gloomy, and he looked straight at Hao Nyo Bai. Hao Nyo Bai's heart skipped a beat. "Xiao Nyo. Is the plan you mentioned really useful?" Putting down the wine glass, Hao Nyo Bai pretended to be calm and said, "Don't worry, Admiral. My plan to go out to support the monster defense line has long been secretly leaked to the family of a student union member under Qinglong Jiang Chen. With Jiang Chen's vengeful character, he will definitely go out of the city to attack and kill us." "Humph, but this is a little different from the news I got. Jiang Chen has been busy with the army branch recently to catch the serial murderer of the Sacred Heart Hospital. Besides, the travel plan of a senior executive of the supervisory department can actually be obtained by an organization playing house in a school. Anyone would be suspicious. Duan Lang shook the wine glass with a playful look. Don't worry, Admiral. I think Jiang Chen is still preparing. After several days of investigation, my Hao family found that Jiang Chen is stubborn and self-righteous. He is arrogant and conceited. Even if he doesn't know whether my travel plan is true or not, he dares to go. Hao Nyobai wiped the sweat from his head and breathed a sigh of relief. It is said that serving the emperor is like serving a tiger. This is really true. This Admiral Duan is really fickle and unpredictable. He was still chatting and laughing in the last second, and his expression was gloomy in the next second. Fortunately, I have the Hao family as a backer. Humph, it's better to be like this. Do you think I can't see the little tricks of your Hao family? It's nothing more than driving the tiger to eat the wolf. As soon as these words came out, the atmosphere in the whole carriage became cold. The cadres of the Blood Wolf group looked at Hao Nyobai with unfriendly eyes, as if they were going to tear him apart in the next moment. Hearing this, Hao Nyobai's expression froze. He wanted to rush to Hao Gang and ask, I treat you as my big brother. You kicked me into the ditch, didn't you? You want me to do such a dangerous job? Ahem. That's not true, Admiral. Our Hao family and your Blood Wolf group have always had a good relationship. As the saying goes, we prosper together and we suffer together. Now that Jiang Chen is bullying us, and this man is very powerful and talented. If he doesn't die, won't our two families be able to sleep and eat in the future? Hao Nyobai started his witty remarks with a strong desire to survive. Admiral. The stupidest thing about Jiang Chen now is that he doesn't know that the power and influence of a place is actually in the hands of a small group of people like us. Qinglong is big, but our circle is small. In this Qinglong with a population of hundreds of thousands, there are perhaps only a few hundred people who are truly powerful. They are the few hundred of us, people like me who hold important positions, and people like you who are as martial as you. The powerful and well-known merchants like the Bai Family Chamber of Commerce. It is us who cover all aspects of Qinglong's operation. In fact, we have already formed a social network of acquaintances with each other. Even if we are not familiar with each other, we can get to know each other's details in a short time through various channels. If we are in this network, if we encounter something, we need to find anyone in this network. We can always get in touch with them if we think of a way, just like our Hao family wants to find you. It can be said that every move of Qinglong is controlled by us. And now, Jiang Chen, who is out of our existence, stirs up trouble and threatens our interests. Are you willing to accept it? After speaking his point of view in one breath, Hao Nyobai took a deep breath and waited for Duan Lang's fateful judgment. Woo-ha-ha. Well said. A young boy wants to be superior to us. He is courting death. Xiao Niu, come on, let's continue drinking. I have always regarded you as my good rice. Woo-ha-ha. Duan Lang and his men laughed wantonly. The sky gradually darkened. The driver in charge of leading the way at the front of the convoy rubbed his eyes and looked out the window at the gloomy weather and the rising cold wind. From time to time, a trace of thunder flashed in the sky. In just a blink of an eye, heavy rain roared, and down. What a bad weather, the Death Valley is ahead. TSK, I really can't understand what the bosses are thinking. They actually plan to run to the Death Valley in advance to ambush someone. It's raining so hard, and we will probably have to set up tents later. It's really the leader's words that make the employees tired. It's time to suffer again. Roll up the windows to prevent rain from pouring back. Death Valley has a huge temperature difference between day and night, and the terrain is complicated. When the wind is strong, it can even blow up fist-sized stones. It is also rich in mineral radiation, which will seriously interfere with communication equipment. The area is often struck by lightning, and even a large group of demon beasts and wasteland wolves roam in the depths of Death Valley. We just drove to the vicinity of Death Valley. Why is it thundering? It's really unlucky. The driver muttered, boom. A thunder in the sky illuminated the dim road ahead. "What is that?" The moment he closed the window, the driver saw a black shadow standing not far from the road ahead. With a burst of strong light from the lightning, the driver saw clearly in an instant that in the middle of the road ahead, there was a terrifying monster wearing a bamboo hat and a black robe, with a figure nearly 8 meters tall. Under the heavy rain, his face was like a demon. 2 scarlet streams of light were blooming in his eyes. The rain did not get close to him within a foot of his body. What kind of monster is that?" "Report to the captain of the 13th Division, I am driver number 001, and there is an unknown monster shadow in front of me. Run over it." A cold voice sounded from the other end of the intercom. Yes. The driver who received the order held back the fear in his heart, stepped on the accelerator hard, and the modified steel behemoth roared and rushed towards the shadow fiercely. "Interesting." Jiang Chen smiled slightly, bowed his right hand and clenched his fist to accumulate power, and the black-armed color domineering covered it, and the veins of the half-beast's thick arms burst out. He smashed the front of the oncoming car fiercely. Fist-bone galaxy impact. The steel behemoth and the humanoid beast collided fiercely. The steel-like vehicle could not move forward, and the front of the car was like a fragile piece of paper that kept folding under the pressure of inertia. The driver had already been crushed to death at the moment of the collision. The rear of the car jumped high into the air. Before everyone in the car could react, they were immersed in the violent impact and staggered. The fist force hit, and the vehicle disintegrated and exploded. The raging flames shot up into the sky, and the wreckage and broken arms were scattered everywhere. The vehicles behind them braked one after another. In the RV in the middle, the dishes on the wine table were scattered all over the floor. "Asshole! What's going on?" Duan Lang shouted.